On January 31st, 2002, my husband and I were traveling to Colorado. We were bringing our youngest daughter, her car. She had just graduated from college and looking for her first teaching job. And so it was my idea that we drive her car out to her. It was the last day of our trip. We were in North Platte, Nebraska. We had spent the night, leisurely gotten up and headed for the last 4 hours, 5 hours of our trip. We were very excited, talking about this being a trucking route, and my husband assured me that no problem, he knew every move that any trucker could make, because my husband was a truck driver. So with that, it was a relaxed 1 hour on the road, and then I heard my husband go, what is this guy doing? And I looked up, and here's a tractor trailer that had been heading east as we're heading west on Interstate 80, coming across the median, and headed right at the pickup truck in front of us. Pickup truck in front of us, as I watched, sped up, and the tractor trailer was right in our face. And the next words, the only words out of my husband was, "Oh shit, we're not going to make it." We were going under. We were going under what I kept thinking was a movie screen. It was the trailer itself. My husband had taken hold of me, pulled me down, saved my life, and his life was taken. He was killed. The roof broke into his skull, and he did not get down. My last thoughts, and as I saw us going under, was, it's okay. We're going to die together. He's my high school sweetheart, my husband of 32 years, and it's okay. We're going to die together, and that's the way it should be. The next thing I remember is noise and chaos and lights, and it was the jaws of life trying to excavate me. And I remember in great panic trying to get away from the noise. I couldn't breathe. I thought they were suffocating me. In fact, I had a collapsed lung, and they weren't suffocating me. And I heard this voice gently explain, "Stay quiet, you're badly injured, we're trying to get you out." The first moment I was aware that I was conscious, I was aware that I no longer had my husband. And I couldn't understand why I was so peaceful, and knew that I had been badly injured, but yet that I had the fight of my life if I was going to be able to survive. And it was hard knowing that this man I was never separated from would no longer be in my life physically, but forever he has stayed with me. The truck driver that ran over us had violated his CDL, and he had not logged in, which tells me we know he was on the road for a long period of time just before that. He hadn't logged in for several days. He was violating the hours of service. The driver was fined $75, and he was given he was told not to drive for a week. However, he was taken to the hospital along with me, put under guard by the police because he was suicidal. He went back in his truck after a week, after having taken a life. And I feel that we need legislation to look at the CDL. We need to regulate it with stronger stipulations. When there is a death, whether you're responsible as a driver or not, are you mentally capable of being in that truck within a week's period of time? I think in Vermont they want to put heavier trucks on the interstate, and I would like to see that there are more laws created to make it safer for the 80,000-pound trucks. The CDL regulations increased, the hours of service, the underride guards, all issues that need to be taken care of before we put heavier trucks on our interstate, and especially in Vermont. It has been a very painful battle, and one which I'd never had to experience if our lawmakers, if we work hard enough to understand. My husband could have survived. He would have lived if there had been the underride guards in place, that it was a life needlessly taken. In an airplane crash, there's hundreds killed at one time, perhaps. So legislatures, lawmakers do not hesitate to put on safety laws and require safety equipment increased. Keep in mind that if the same legislatures understood that this one life or the several lives are as significant to people like myself, to my family, to my children, to my grandchildren, and the pain they've gone through, it's life altering, and it is more expense, but it also is a saving expense. Because I have been on disability, I am a cost to the federal government in that sense. I also feel that the insurance companies certainly want to have safer equipment to protect their policy, that they're not paying out millions. So I think that cost effective is to have safety effective equipment.